The Hawaii Community Development Authority was created in 1976 to revitalize urban areas in the state. These areas were determined to be underused and deteriorating, but with the potential to meet the needs of Hawaii's people and provide economic opportunity once revitalized. Lawmakers found that Kaka'ako was significantly underdeveloped and underutilized, especially with its central location in Honolulu. Since that time, the HCDA has helped to construct affordable housing, over 45 acres of parklands, and numerous infrastructure and utility improvement projects. HCDA has also taken on the responsibility of redeveloping Kailoa, also known as the Barbers Point Naval Air Station, and 400 acres of the Meadowlands He'eia.
5 new housing developments in the Kaka'ako Community Development District are now under construction, with an additional 7 already permitted by the authority. A handful of other developments are also in the pipeline, creating the potential for over 5,300 new housing units in the Kaka'ako district alone. Over 48% of these units will be made available to qualified income households, ensuring lower-priced homes that working professionals and young families can afford. State analysts say 5,700 new housing units are needed in Hawaii each year, and the HCDA is doing its part to meet that demand. The authority approved the second phase of 801 South Street on December 4, 2013, paving the way for the state's first workforce housing development. Upon completion, the 2 phases of 801 South Street will offer about 1,000 units for sale to those earning less than 140% of the average median income, or less than $86,300 for a family of 4. This will give workforce residents the opportunity to eliminate hours of commute time to work, and thereby increase precious quality time spent with loved ones. The HCDA also successfully added more low-income housing in the Kaka'ako district. By providing gap financing for the construction of Halekauila Place, the HCDA ensured 204 units will be open for rent to low-income families in Honolulu beginning in March 2014. Studios to 3-bedroom units will be available to those earning less than 60% of the average median income or less than $59,000 for a family of 4. Rent will be kept affordable for decades, starting at about $1,000 for a studio and going up to about $1,500 for a spacious 3-bedroom loft that overlooks Mother Waldron Park.
As the sun rises over Diamond Head, bringing the light of a new day, Kaka'ako Makai begins to feel its warmth. Movement is occurring in the harbor as boats are being prepped to take to sea. Surfers are out at Point Panic for dawn patrol, while fishermen can be seen nearby reeling in their catch. Good morning, Kaka'ako Makai. Kaka'ako Makai is a 220-acre waterfront comprised of park, commercial, industrial, educational, and recreational activities, rich in history and culture, steadily striving towards a progressive future. Kewalo Basin Harbor is a booming commercial small boat harbor that is preparing for the future with developments involving 100 new slips, new docks, new jetties, and a surge abatement facilities. At the harbor's edge sits the historic Fisherman's Wharf and the old Hawaiian Tuna Packers cannery site. New development on the horizon will see Fisherman Wharf's restaurant rebuilt, along with 120,000 square feet of new construction that will complement the growth of Kewalo Basin Harbor. The Kaka'ako Waterfront Park consists of 44 acres integrated within a cultural landscape. Existing structures in the park include a children's discovery center and a well-used open amphitheater. Current plans are in the works to renovate the amphitheater and construct facilities that support a rich fabric of cultural activities. The University of Hawaii John A. Burns School of Medicine and the UH Cancer Center supports an active and growing academic community in Kaka'ako Makai. The Kewalo Keiki Fishing Conservancy educates keiki and adults as to Hawaii's native fish population and also providing hands-on experience with its catch and release program. For many kids and parents alike, this will be their opportunity to catch and release native fish. A grand plaza will lead to the Obama Presidential Center. Kaka'ako Makai's advantage is its ability to provide a breathtaking backdrop on which the crown jewel of the Presidential Center can be built. The location is stunning in its natural features, proximity to UH facilities and public schools, and accessibility for all visitors of Honolulu, all captured by the sweeping panoramic view of Honolulu, Waikiki, Diamond Head, and the Pacific Ocean.
Around the country, but especially here in Hawaii, we know that space is precious. Because of our limited land, we must go up instead of out in order to grow. There is simply no room for urban sprawl in downtown Honolulu, so in order to accommodate more residents, we must increase density with compact communities. It's the pulse of an active and engaging city, the means to achieving community goals and a higher quality of life. Transit-oriented development, or TOD, goes far beyond building a transit line through a neighborhood. It's part of a greater idea to generate livable communities that provide a wide range of benefits to residents. TOD increases connectivity and transportation choices, making it possible to get around without a car. It increases density and uses space smartly, meeting the needs of a growing population and creating homes that families can afford. And at its heart, TOD instills a sense of community, producing a heightened sense of place by promoting a convenient, affordable, and active lifestyle for people of all ages and backgrounds. The idea of having everything at your fingertips is a key concept of TOD. The ability to walk to a bank or pick up last-minute dinner items on the commute home are all aspects of successful TOD that serve to make life more convenient. To prepare for the future, we must first understand the past. In the 1920s, Kaka'ako was one of the city's earliest residential districts. It was home to over 2,600 laborers, fishermen, and even the poor. The population continued to climb through 1940, with about 5,000 living in Kaka'ako during the Second World War. But rezoning in the 1950s changed the face of the district, with the emphasis moving from residential to industrial. The population rapidly declined to just 837 residents by 1970. Now Kaka'ako stands on the edge of a new era, with residents moving back in droves to the place that once housed the heart of Honolulu's working class. Major Kaka'ako landowners, Kamehameha Schools, and Howard Hughes Corporation are committed to this revitalization so close to Oahu's urban core. Their master plans show long-range goals of transforming Kaka'ako into an engaging, compact, walkable community, like so many successful neighborhoods in the mainland have already done. The Kaka'ako district now stands to become Hawaii's first true live, work, play community, a beacon of forward thinking and planning. Master plans for the district include lush green belts to provide a place for residents and visitors to relax and mingle. Howard Hughes has plans to create a large promenade that runs Mauka to Makai and connects a rail station with Kewalo Boat Harbor. Active storefronts and multiple opportunities for retail and dining will all be within walking distance from home. Sidewalks and roads will be upgraded to increase mobility for all and provide safe, healthy alternatives to commuting by car. The HCDA and the state of Hawaii are committed to creating this place for residents to thrive, where complete streets and urban village design all contribute to a safe, pedestrian-oriented environment with a unique sense of place. While some may fear the change, now is the time to embrace the future and to show Hawaii as a leader in building smart communities. It's a time to welcome a modern approach to developing homes and neighborhoods for working families, and to establish a solid foundation for the generations to come.
E nā ki no malu I kalani malu e hoi. E o ulu mai ana o laka I kona mauka o mākou noa. E ulu kini o ke akua. Ulu kane me kanalo. Ulu o ia laukoa me ka ie. Mai anō I koukua hu. E ia ka waila. E vai e ola. E ola no
Kalailoa, like many places throughout the Hawaiian Islands, is a place with traditions and cultural attachments that span generations, from Hawaiian antiquity to the modern day. Kalailoa is literally translated as the distant point. This is a geographical description of the land formation, as seen when walking the ancient foot trail across the Eba Plain between the Waianae and Kona districts of Oahu. In 2002, the Hawaii State Legislature transferred the redevelopment responsibility for Kalailoa from the Naval Air Station Barbers Point Redevelopment Commission to the Hawaii Community Development Authority, or HCDA.
The HCDA is working closely with the City and County of Honolulu, Department of Hawaiian Homelands, U.S. Coast Guard, and the Navy to build up the infrastructure in the Kalailoa Community Development District. 2 new 5-megawatt solar power plants opened in 2013, Kalailoa Solar 2 Farm and the Kalailoa Renewable Energy Park. Both facilities are instrumental in helping the state of Hawaii move closer toward its Hawaii Clean Energy Initiative to achieve 70% clean energy by year 2030. Both facilities feed into the Hawaiian Electric Company, or HECO, system and generate enough energy to power an estimated 2,500 homes. The HCDA is also working on an environmental assessment and archaeological inventory survey for the Kalailoa East Energy Corridor project. HCDA staff continues working with the Navy facilities staff to secure the necessary roadway and utility easements that are needed to establish the new energy corridor. The HCDA is also working to preserve the culture of the area through developments of the Kalailoa Heritage Park. The HCDA secured a consultant to produce the Kalailoa Heritage Park Plan and an environmental assessment that will include an archaeological inventory survey. Volunteers and a local nonprofit organization are working to protect the park's resources by clearing invasive species, building walking paths and gates, and constructing structures to house important artifacts. In spring 2013, the newly constructed Federal Bureau of Investigation's office complex opened for operations at Roosevelt and Enterprise Avenues in Kalailoa. The building incorporated leadership in energy and environmental design specifications, including a photovoltaic system on its rooftop. This year also marked the first Kalailoa development permit issued by the authority for the construction of a new 50-unit Cloudbreak Hawaii and Veterans Affairs project. Haleuhi Vainalu will be built adjacent to the existing Cloudbreak facility to create a total of 130 beds for low-income veterans.
Basically, this is 500 acres, but 80 acres belong to Kamehameha Schools. But that left the other 420 acres belonging to the state, which the kupuna wanted to begin to restore.
In Hei'i'a, water from the valleys created a wetland where kalo was grown in traditional lo'is. Throughout the 1800s and early 1900s, farming at Hei'i'a went through various cycles of kalo, rice, and cattle. About 50 years ago, mangroves were introduced to the area to control erosion from the heavy rains, but they made their way downstream, choking the channel at its mouth. The HCDA has entered a partnership with Kako'o Oiwi, a community-based nonprofit organization to implement Mahuahua Ai o Ho'i. This project will work to restore the land into a working agricultural landscape. By doing so, Kako'o Oiwi will provide food security, biological resiliency, programs for research and education, and community use. Future vision for the area include a poi mill, a Hawaiian hale, and a health center that will focus on the ancient healing techniques and practices. The goals are to educate, feed, and sustain the community. With the aid of kupuna, there will be multi-generational learning, which will lead to the growth and mentoring of others.
And we're basically harvesting every week, and some of the taro and the poi are going to the farmers market, and we're in the process of continuing until we can hopefully be able to restore this whole area, and not only with the lo'i but also the dry land crops, because we've got a large area, several acres that we can put dry land crops, and also restore certain areas for community use, culture center, arts and crafts centers, and restore the hula and the lua and all of the cultural and traditional practices.
I would visualize everything from Mauka to Makai, farming, taro, and I can just see them. And then the thing is, it's going to happen, and we're making it happen right now, passing it down to this guy right now. And pretty much everything that I know, he knows.
A lot of the families in Hakipu'u and other places, they talk about Maka Nakaike, which is in work there's knowledge. and we really need to perpetuate that. Personally, we do this because we have to. If we don't do it, then we just leave it for our children to do it, and that's kind of wrong. So, if we expect them to walk a certain path or be pono, we have to at least set that standard.